Okay, this is a quick vid for release 2.10.3.4, and we'll go over quickly some of the new features. As you can see there, the linearity form has got an option to show on startup now, and in the same place there's also show amp view on startup, so you can bring those up as the system starts. We'll switch those off for now. So that's the first new feature. Switch the radio on. Okay, in the MIDI, there's some new settings in MIDI, and here they are. My MIDI device is a Hercules DJ Control Starlight, and it has issues with the 14-bit messages, well, Thetis does, that come off some of the controls. So there's an option to ignore 14-bit messages, and there's also a new set of options for combining control IDs with channels so that more devices can be used. With this Starlight, for example, some of the controls share the same control ID, so you can't use everything on there, but using these options you now can. But of course they change the control ID, so you will need to reconfigure your MIDI. There has been an issue with MIDI identified related to the MIDI mapping stuff, and I would seriously recommend not using any of that in that drop down there, because it is broken and has been broken for at least 4 years. And if you've got it to work previously, it's just been a fluke. So use this save button when you're messing about with your settings. There's no plans at the moment to fix any of that, but just a little heads up on that. So what else are we looking at? Certain skins might make it snow. There's some interesting holiday season Christmas related skin from Ernst. If we use the skin server in setup, appearance, skin server, go on Ernst stuff, OE3 IDE, hit refresh and pick up the Christmas skin, and we hit download on here and wait for that to happen, and when it's done we can go over to this tab and then pick Christmas. And as you can see, everything will change, and in fact some snow will start appearing in the spectrum. And we can also bring up Rudolph. So if we go set up appearance multimeters, and we let's add a new container, let's put a magic eye in there, and as you can see Rudolph is there. So let's increase the bezel size to 1, which will make him as big as the container, give or take. Change the magic indicator, magic eye, to red, and we can alter the scale of that as well separately to fill that up. And of course we can undock and put him wherever, and then if we were to move, we will see this slowly, because the attack and whatnot is fairly slow on this, so we could increase that, increase this a bit, and then we will see things changing a lot quicker. So there we are. So there's that. Let's switch back to a regular skin for the rest of the video and get rid of that container. We can use the highlight function to make sure we're getting rid of the right one. So that's that. Okay, there is another option related to the containers. As you know, when you hover over the top of here, you get a title bar that allows you to drag, go to the direct settings for that container, pin it and return it to the to docked mode. But if you're streaming or whatever, you don't want that sort of thing flashing up when you move your mouse around, so you've got this option here, no container title bar, and that stops that from happening, and that's per container. So we could add another container and that's got a title bar, this one hasn't, and you can switch that one off like so. So that's off, no container title bar. But there's a quick way to get around it. If you want to tweak the position, you can hold shift down and it overrides that setting temporarily. Let go of shift and then it's not there. So that's a new option. If we look at diversity, there's a new option here as well, which prevents the linking of RX1 and RX2 attenuators, or ADC0, ADC1. Or whatever it is. So yeah, you can do that, which allows you to tailor each with their own attenuation levels if you require that. There's been a fix for the audio on RX2. It's a bit awkward for me to demo it here, but if you use RX2 and want to listen to your own audio, you can transmit on RX1, set up RX2 with its own VAC and everything, and if you come in here, sorry, not there, general RX2, you can uncheck that and you'd be able to hear your own transmission on RX2, but of course you need RX2 enabled and the VAC set up for it and everything. So that's that. Mic phase reverse has been fixed, which is under setup DSP CFC, which is here. That's now been fixed. And what else should we look at? Yeah, FM has the low and high cuts, which now work and alter the widths of the filters and everything. So that's all been fixed for this version. If we quickly, I will go just stand up a minute and switch to a dummy load. We can look at the scope on transmit, which never really worked before. That has now been resolved. Just waiting for the spectrum to realign itself with the auto stuff. So yeah, if we go into scope mode and we transmit, of course I'm not using any VAC here, so we'll switch that on and hopefully that hasn't broken my audio in the recording. Looks okay, but yeah, you can see this, it's a lot better now. And if we go to display, we can slow this right down if we want to look at the balance and all sorts of stuff. So it's quite cool now. Sometimes with this quick update you'll see a joining line between data, which is just how the data is coming in. It's filling up the array essentially, and the new bit of data might create a line to the old data, so that's why you see sometimes a line in there. So there we are, MW0LGE. Okay, so that's that. Let's get back to the panel fall and shoot back to something to look at. So let's take the dummy load out. So yes, that's been resolved. What else? Spots and the grey line tracking. If we go to, sorry, wrong window, spot, and we use this system here, track, and then we have grey line or sun tracking, and or the sun's behind there. That is now fixed, so it remembers the background image of your skin, so it shouldn't turn black anymore like it used to. So that's a lot more resilient now. So that's fixed. There were some issues with this title bar in the meters staying stuck on. That's fixed as well, and a couple of other things related to meter containers have been fixed. We've tweaked the way that waterfall AGC restarts after a transmission, etc. So in an attempt to remove the pulse that appears, but you can also use purge WDSP buffers if you want 100% for that to be cleared away. Mileage may vary, kind of thing. Okay, I pulled out the if we used to go into here, options 2, there used to be an option here, use new noise floor calculation. That's been removed and we're using it all the time now. I've also pulled out the HTTP server stuff, which never worked, not in this newer version of Thetis anyway, so that's all been removed. It used to be in this navigation tab, and we've had some changes from Sigi DH1KLM, who's realigned some of the controls all throughout setup and improved some of the images and things in the skin. Incidentally, if you install the software from scratch and some of your buttons or sliders are missing, like the tune slider or whatever, you can go into here, appearance skin server, and just download the default IK3VIG skin if the buttons are missing from that skin or whatever. So you can do that. If you, for instance, pick one of Rob's new skins as well, like this steampunk one, so he's got steampunk there, so if we download this, we can then flip to here, and we can look at steampunk. And as you might have noticed, I've got another one in here called Steampunk Snow, and that will let it snow. And the way you can do that, you can take any existing skin. So if I was to take like Star Trek for instance and rename it, and on the end put snow, when you shut down and restart Thetis, it would find that in the folder and it would start snowing on Starship Enterprise. So there we are, you can do that as well. I think that pretty much rounds up the changes that have happened to 2.10.3.4, but of course you can view all that from, let's just switch this cool skin away a minute, appearance, general skins, go back to my default. You can, as I say, view all the release notes. If you go to general HW select, it's just been chucked here at the moment, this button. You can hit release notes and it will give you everything here, including the changes that happened last time. So there we are. Okay, cool. Hopefully that will help. Just a quick overview of what has been done this time. Alright, cheers everybody.